I'm standing here on top of the railroad trestle over Possumtown Road on the Conrail line, and this is a great shot of what you can see in the background. However, before I explain what's going on, I want to thank New Jersey American Water for dropping off a lot of cases of water for township residents. I want to thank OEM for the operations going on. I want to thank our volunteer firefighters for helping out, and the mutual aid companies that brought in tanker trucks also for fire protection service. And then also our emergency management CERT team has helped out with distribution last night, and all the other council members that helped last night to distribute water to our township residents. So here's what we know as of 11 o'clock Tuesday morning, almost 24 hours since the break. So as you can see in the background right here, you have the confluence. This break probably occurred in the most worst possible area in the New Jersey American Water sewer system. What I mean by that is you have a 60-inch line on this side of the Conrail tracks, a 48-inch line on this tracks, and coming over here you have a 24-inch line teeing, and then you have another 30-inch line. So you have 4 very large water supply lines all converging on them. The 60-inch line takes care of the city of Elizabeth and Eastern Union County, Newark Airport, that area. The 48-inch takes care of us and several of the other towns that have been in the boil water, city of Linden, all the way up the southern portion of Union County, Middlesex County, Denellen, Middlesex, South Plainfield, etc. And then the off-spurs that are right here. So the problem is they can't really get into work down here yet until they get the water totally turned off. Right now, they're still having a problem turning off the 24-inch line at this point. So they're going to take another run at it again in about an hour. They tried at 7 o'clock, they couldn't get it off. So as you can see, Fletcher Kramer contractors are contracted out by New Jersey American Water to do the dewatering out here. And then once all the water stops, then you'll be able to see the severity of damage. But right now, we could probably honestly say Possumtown Road will probably be shut down for at least 2 weeks. So for those motoring public or people that live in the area, just take South Possumtown Road off the radar screen. You're not going to be able to use it. The size, if you come over here, the size of the holes, if you're on top of this trestle, it's over 20 feet deep at this point now. You could actually do cliff diving off of this right here. Right now, you see the pulling of the water of the 24-inch line and also the 42-inch line. Conrail has had their structural engineers out here with the railroad track to make sure that it's safe enough for the railroad train cars to come over here. And so you could see there must be about 8 feet of soil that has been pushed out onto Possumtown Road with all the damage out here. Our township engineering department, as well as our outside consulting engineering firms, are going to be working with the engineers of New Jersey American Water to figure out, once this gets dewatered, the severity and the best way to go about reconstructing the road here as part of the project out here. So this is a monumental task out here. You should be seeing now some hint of pressure going back into the residential homes. New Jersey American Water has been able to triage their system and divert water to get pressure into the system out here so they can start getting some potable drinking water. There's still a boil alert out there, and until you hear differently, continue to boil water if you're going to use it to brush your teeth or drink water to cook with. We do have at this point also at Little League today, we're going to be open from 9 to 10 p.m. today, distributing a case of water, 1 per household. If you have one of your neighbors coming with you, if they have a different driver's license with a different Piscataway address, you can get a case of water. We do have another site set up on Columbus Park now that we are distributing water over there. We're asking the residents just keep an eye on the local Piscataway Township Facebook page. We're going to continue to give updates throughout the day on what's going on. I know this has been a very large inconvenience for everybody, but you know, this is another day in Piscataway. Hey, listen, we're Piscataway strong. We know how to deal with adversity So let's move on. Now, one thing I would like to say, I don't know if everybody's seen the press over the last 6 months about President Biden's initiative, Build Back Better, with infrastructure improvements. This is a classic reason why we have to upgrade infrastructure right now, because you really don't realize what's underground until something bursts and how it affects the homeowners or the residents in this area. Because think about it, you've had almost 500,000 people affected by this break here because of the infrastructure here, and they're not going to know how bad it is until they get in there. So I want to thank Senator Menendez and Senator Booker and Congressman Pallone for trying to push the infrastructure bill that the president's trying to push through, because that monies will come back and help New Jersey as a whole and Piscataway Township for upgrading some of these utility lines. Instead of having ratepayers pick up 100% of the cost, they'll have some of the federal government pick up some of the cost for upgrading these lines. So just remember, Build Back Better. This is what this is all about. And since we were all affected by this, I think now everybody can understand why there needs to be an infrastructure bill. So we want those members of Congress to do the right thing and take care of things like this. I want to thank the folks at Fletcher Kramer, the subcontractors for New Jersey American Water out here, because they're going to be here for several days out here. If you look further up, that is the shoring. When this water stops, when they go to dig the trenches for the piping, that they have a wall there, so it's going to be safe for the construction workers to work in, as well as the desalination, not desalination, but I should say the dewatering process that's going on. So like I said, we're going to do more upgrades right here. And then at 7 o'clock, I told you this morning, they were out here trying to get the water line shut off. So that's pretty much it from here. Once again, just people stay away from Possumtown Road. We don't need any sightseers out here. You're not going to get through. We have police presence out here. And then just work with the folks up at the OEM, up at the watering sites. Remember, 1 per car. They're not putting it in a trunk. Keep your window down, because it makes it a little easier for us to tell residents where they got to go. And we want to do it expeditiously as possible, because we don't want to inconvenience people any more than we have to. So we'll tune back in a little later this afternoon with any updates that we have. We'll see you then.